Can the Zoom people still hear us? Zoom?
Zoom can still hear you.
Okay. There we go. We're on. Can we see the Zoom screen?
You can.
Okay. Hey everyone. Welcome to Trail Talk. Wow, are we excited for your viewing pleasure today? I have my friend Alayna Hill with me. I've known Alayna, I was trying to figure out, probably
since I was a baby.
Yeah, I'm at least 12 years, maybe even longer than that. She's 15 years old, but she is such a talented young woman. She, well, I'm going to have her come back sometime and play music for us. She's such a talented pianist. But today, she's going to talk to us about her art. And we're kind of surrounded by her art here behind us. We'll let you guys look at all that here in a minute. But I want to kind of let Alayna tell us some things about herself first. So Alayna, how long have you been an artist? Making things, like when you were tiny, were you drawing and doing things like that? Tell us about that.
When I was little, I liked art, but I wasn't good at art. So it's just like, I'd play around with it.
Right.
And then when I went to the fair when I was 7 for the first time, I saw this beautiful painting. And I was like, I want to do that.
Right.
So I got myself a how to paint book. It's one of those, little kitty ones, but
Hey,
I was all proud of myself.
you know
I drew
what?
an eye.
You have to start somewhere, right? I mean, I love that. So you were just like, you felt this inside you. You knew that you felt like you could make a painting like that.
No, I didn't think I could, but I thought it'd be cool.
It'd be cool if you could. Well, I would venture to say she can. You make some beautiful paintings. So you were 7. So you've been working on your art, perfecting your technique. I'm sure you would say you have a ways to go. Since you were trying to touch up some of these today, even before you brought them.
Yes.
I find that to be a common thread among the artists that I've talked to. They all see little details that they want to change in whatever it is they make. And I think at some point they finally just have to say, okay, I'm finished. I'll make something else instead.
It's like that. You get fed up with the piece and you're like, okay, whatever.
Right. I've even talked to people who just take it and just paint over it and start all over again.
Oh, I've done that.
And yeah, there you go. So do you have any kind of training, any kind of artistic lessons or anything that you've had?
As of, I think, like January-ish, I started taking lessons with Lou Baggett.
Okay.
So
At Lou Baggett, she's going to be a guest on Trail Talk here in a few weeks. So very good. Let's take a minute and look at some of the pieces that you brought. Okay. If you want to just, let's see, we might need to, let's just start with the ones we can see. This green piece back here. And there's the pink one that had, those are both dancers. Tell us, do you like to paint dancers? I'm going to pull this one around here too, where you can see it. See these are kind of the dancer trio that she brought with her. Tell us about why you like to paint dancers.
I've always kind of been interested in the arts in general. And dance was one of the things I'd always kind of wanted to do, but I am not very coordinated.
Okay.
And so I can't do it. But I like to paint dancers because, I don't know, I'm just attracted to somehow the way they can move.
Right. Okay, now I'm going to pick this one up, Scott, and hold it a little closer. It's got glass on it. This one is actually there we go. This is a beautiful, what would you call it?
Watercolor.
A watercolor. And is it just a watercolor of a?
There's some flowers. Me and Lou were working on them actually.
Well,
so I just finished it on Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is a brand new piece that you just finished. This is lovely. Isn't this so nice? That is really good. And I can see where you've already learned some things about the just detail and things like that and how to. What are some of the things you learned that whenever you painted this? I haven't ever seen you paint like the flowers like that.
I've never done flowers really, and I don't really do watercolor very well.
Okay.
So it was interesting, but I guess when you start, it's really light and you have to get darker as you go on.
Uh-huh.
And you just layer it over and over. But you can't layer it too much or too frequently, otherwise it kind of gets all muddied up.
Right.
So
you just have to learn how to work with watercolors. So are these others acrylic?
These are all oil and that is oil, but these two are acrylic.
Oh, okay. So these are oil.
Yes.
See, oil to me, that just sounds terrifying to work with oil paints to me.
I remember when I bought them, I was like, I'm going to learn to paint oil paints. And the first thing I made looked horrible. It was like this big, huge, splotchy mess that was smudged everywhere.
Right.
And my experiences with oils were not great for like the first few months.
So what's the key to painting with oil? Oh, okay. Okay. So he wants us to move over here. There we go. That is much better. Come stand. Yeah, right here. Okay. So tell us the trick of painting with oils.
Well, there ain't much of a trick. You just have to figure out how not to smudge it. So basically you're always holding your hand like this and trying really hard not to touch the canvas.
Okay. So do you paint with an easel like this?
I do not usually. I'm a floor sort of person. I like the floor. And my carpet looks horrible because, well, paint gets on the floor, especially if you have siblings to step on your paint and then smudge it everywhere.
Right, right. I forgot to add that Alayna's the oldest of 11, so she knows a little bit about siblings, younger siblings. And so then acrylics. Let's hold up these blue ones. You said blue were your favorite. That's your favorite color. I'll let you hold that one up. That one, I love that one. And then this one as well. These are both lovely. And so this one is acrylic and that one is oil. Is that correct? Okay. But to me, I mean, of course, I don't have a trained eye or anything, but I mean, they both look, they're just amazing. You add details so well, and it looks like you're kind of accomplishing a lot with your different types of paint.
It takes like a lot of time, but yeah, you get there eventually.
Yeah.
But that one, it's one of my better acrylics because I have really, really bad acrylic paintings, and I've, my better ones. I don't have it in between. Like oils, I can make something, it look kind of good, okay. Same thing with watercolor, but the acrylics is really bad.
It's really bad or really good. Yeah. Well, we're glad you brought the really good ones with you today.
I was not going to bring my bad ones.
And then I wanted to show. Why don't you show this one too? And I mean, obviously, you've had some. I don't know. You like the dancers, and so and you like blue, and obviously this is someone thinking of a song or a new, maybe they're composing a composer's dream. Is that what you call that? That's a great.
But I like painting people a lot.
Right. So what's the story on this one?
It's actually two of my favorite characters from a book.
Okay.
So I was like, I wanted to paint them.
Right.
And I'm really bad at, drawing actual full body people, especially boys. I cannot draw guys at all.
Well, there's a goal. There's a goal to accomplish
every now and then I'll sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to draw this face and it's going to look like a boy instead of a girl. Because I will start them and they will look like a girl once I'm done with them. So I just don't get it.
You go back and add some razor stubble or something to make it look
like a girl
more like a girl with a beard. Okay, that's not what you were shooting for, I'm sure. Well, this is great. And don't you love how the detail goes all the way? She's painted all the way around the edges of this. Do what?
I haven't finished the bottom.
Well, that's okay. I won't show the bottom, but even up on the top, I love that attention to detail when an artist does that. I think that's just really completes whatever it is that you're painting.
I feel like with detail, it's important to get the details, but if you don't get the whole picture, like the big picture, then it's really bad.
Right.
And that's what I used to do. I was so focused on how to get all the details right. And I'd look back at it and like an eye would be kind of sliding off her face and her nose would be some weird, big, huge blob. I was like, that's what it's supposed to look like.
So because you got hyper focused on something else.
Yes.
So it sounds like you're spending all this time, all these years painting. You've really figured yourself out as far as, what you're kind of self-taught, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you only started lessons this year. And I'm really impressed with your talent. Of course, I boast about her talent all the time. I talk about that. But today, you're going to kind of step away from some of the paints and everything and create something for us using chalk. Now, she's kind of made a little bit of a name for herself around here at the Chisholm Trail Heritage Center because we have a program in the summer we call Free Art Mondays. And for a couple of hours every Monday, we are outside under our portico and families come and they do art, and we always have sidewalk chalk laying around. And so Alayna, they didn't get to come this summer, but in previous years, she would work on a piece, something she was in her head. She would start drawing it with the big fat sidewalk chalk. You'll see that's what she's going to use today. And she would just make these beautiful, intricate, detailed pictures. And every week she'd come back and add something until she had it maybe just what she wanted. Yeah. I have seen her go back and smudge something off and then kind of redo it. And
one time I just scribbled over an entire one because I hated it.
But we take pictures of them and have them in our archives because we just love her chalk art so much. So I was thrilled when you said that you would come and do something in chalk for us. Yeah. So what do you think? You want to get started?
Sure.
On that? Okay. So we're going to move down to where we can see Alayna working on that. And if you want to kind of work on this side, I'm thinking now with the sun right there. You want me to help you move these things over?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Your palette of colors here. Yeah. If I mix things up, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't really care. I was just having a general organization.
But, yeah. So are you kind of like that? You like things in a certain order?
No. If you see my room, very obvious I am not an orderly person. I never have been, and I probably never will be.
Oh, well, that's okay. That is fine. All right, Alayna, I'm just going to say go to it, and you might talk to us about some of the things that you're doing to enhance, what you're making as you're doing it.
Yes. Starting off when you do chalk, you got to make sure you got the colors you want, because if you don't, then you got a problem. And I did that once where I didn't realize I didn't have the colors I needed, and my person ended up with green hair. So.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad. Hopefully, we gave you enough of.
You did.
What you're
That's why I was figuring that
out. Oh, okay. Okay.
And when you start sketching out the chalk design, you're going to want something close to the color of the concrete. That way, if you screw something up, which I am bound to do, you can kind of smudge and erase it a little bit and it won't get noticed. Whereas if you use like a bright pink, no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to erase it.
Oh, that's a good tip. Really good tip.
So you probably won't be able to see this for a couple of minutes.
Right. But that's okay. It will reveal itself to us.
Mm-hmm. Once you have the outline you want, then you start using bolder colors. That way you can actually see what you're drawing.
So besides doing chalk art up here, do you do chalk other places? Have you ever?
I haven't. I was gonna do the Chickasha thing this year, but they didn't have it, so I didn't do it.
Yes, that competition at USAO.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some amazing chalk art.
I've always wanted to go there because I didn't know they had it, so y'all mentioned it, and I was like, wait, there's another chalk art contest.
Right, right. And you have, how many art contests have you participated in?
I don't know. I think this year I did not participate in much, just like Youth Art Month and what's it called? Paint in the Park.
That was up here, right?
Yeah, that was actually. I remember I picked a stupid spot because it was blazing hot in the sun, and I had half my face and half my body sunburned for the next like 3 weeks. So that was stupid. It was worth it, so.
Well, I believe you won, so
Yeah, I did.
I would say job well done, despite the heat.
Oh yeah, the heat was pretty miserable. I remember thinking, I really hope I don't have to get my picture taken because I feel like I'm sweating like a pig. I got my picture taken. I was like, uh-oh. I remember one time when I bought this really big canvas and I was real excited to paint on it.
Mm-hmm.
I had started at Sunset and it was a watercolor canvas, which I didn't know they had until I bought it and I realized I had a watercolor canvas, so I had to use watercolor. But I painted part of the sunset and I went downstairs to get something and we had to go somewhere. I didn't lock my door, and that was back when one of my little sisters, Ensley, who really likes going up to my room, was in her destructive stage. So she got up there and she dumped all of my watercolors all over the canvas and smeared them everywhere.
Oh no.
That was quite the mess.
Oh.
I wasn't very happy with her.
Was it, so it ended up not usable at all, I'm guessing.
Actually, I did use it for something.
Oh, did you?
It ended up being pretty cruddy.
Well, you know what? Good effort for trying to make something out of, something you weren't expecting.
That's siblings for you, man. Let's give you challenges.
So there you go.
That's like I always dump my paints on the floor. Yesterday, my sisters accidentally dumped all my paint water all over everything and got my sketchbooks wet. I was not happy with that.
Oh dear. It looks like you guys can see pretty well. Is it? Oh, right here. Yeah.
Another thing with chalk art is when you're starting it, you don't want to start with the details. You want to get the rough draft first. Make sure you've got the shape and the colors right. And you have to pick your lighting, because if you're going to have a picture, you don't want, say, like there's some glimmer over here and then there's light shining here and then all of a sudden there's some highlights here for random reasons. You want to have the light facing or the highlights facing where the light is.
So now, is that something that you just kind of understood by yourself, or was that something someone pointed out to you?
I don't think I consciously understood it till recently, but I always kind of knew that, like, say your lights up here are going to have most of the, highlights facing here. I didn't always get them all in the right places.
Right.
Like sometimes I have some light over here. Oopsies, that was the wrong spot.
Right, right. But, light is one of the elements of art. Yes. And so, how you use it and whatever it is you're creating, I mean, that's important. But it's also, I think it's kind of interesting how it seems to be a bit of a natural occurrence, that you kind of pick up on those things.
Yeah. As
you study art and or nature, I guess.
Nature is one of the greatest things you can learn from an art. Is just looking at a tree and observing the way the light falls on it and all the details.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I hate painting trees because trees take forever because they got all the stupid twigs and leaves. branches and grass and whatever.
Right. Well, you know, if you weren't the detail painter.
Yeah, if I could just draw a cartoon tree, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I hate drawing cartoons. I like seeing cartoons, but for the life of me, I cannot draw a cartoon and make it look like a cartoon without making it look ridiculous. So I usually just do it. Oh, there's a grasshopper.
Yeah, he's gone now. Hopefully. Try to shoot him away. There we go. That is helpful.
There's a lot of artists who like mild colors, but I am one of them apparently.
Right, you do go for the bolder color. I think that's
I go for
why
very bright
this
pastel.
picture of the flowers that you did in your classes, I mean, it's so very different.
It is very different
From what anything else that you've created, but I love that. If there's one other thing I've learned from artists who have come on Trail Talk is that you always stretch yourself, always try something new, and it just makes you a better artist in general.
Yes. Like if you just stick to drawing faces, like I have most of my faces, you're not going to get anywhere. I have a lot of other stuff at home, but since I'm better at drawing faces, I did not bring other stuff because other stuff doesn't look very good.
Well, I've also found that artists are most critical of themselves, so.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so that has its uses and its needs.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so right there, you are blending, right?
Oh yeah,
To,
blending to make the shades go together better instead of being such harsh lines. It's just another way you know if your stuff looks ridiculous is if your siblings go, "Why on earth does her back look like that?" So in a weird,
Yeah.
annoying way, they can actually help.
yeah, I can see that.
Like my little sister, who is I think 4, she's very blunt, and she doesn't realize how blunt she's being. She doesn't like her clothes. She goes, "Your clothes look ugly." So she's like that, but she'll tell me if she thinks something is weird about my art. Like I have one portrait where her eyes are up too high, and he goes, "Why are her eyes so weird?"
Well, you know, I mean, it can be, she's a critic. You're
Yeah.
living with an art critic. It could be helpful.
Oh yeah, she's actually quite a bit of. She likes art, and I think she'll probably become more of an artist too. She's more of that. She's got that brain. Yes. Her and Isabel both like art, and actually a lot of my siblings are kind of into it, and I can see a lot of them becoming even better than me if they worked at it.
So speaking of working at it, do you put a lot of hours into your art? Like say a week or every couple of weeks? Well,
I usually spend at least an hour painting a day. I can't say I've always like consciously made an effort to. I just do it when I want to, I guess, which is weird because with piano, I have to work really hard at it all the time and make sure I'm constantly practicing. And I do. I work hard at piano, and then art's just kind of like, okay, I don't have anything better to do. I might as well do this.
Oh, okay. So is it relaxing then?
Somewhat. Sometimes it's not when I'm frustrated with something and it's not working and I can't fix it, then I get on that.
Right.
I used to be very obsessed with realism. I still kind of am, but I'm less so. Now I'm more like, I just want to paint something that's beautiful. I don't want to make it look completely real. Because when I first started, that's why I wanted to be an artist, because I thought it was so cool that people could make things that look real.
Right.
And I just don't have the capability yet. So I'm going to stick with what I do for now until I can figure that out.
Yeah, she's really, really coming together.
Starting to, yes, and I don't like the word fries over here, so I'm going to fix that.
By the way, we are outside today, so my foot might occasionally step into the picture as I'm killing a bug that's scampering across the pavement. So, what would you say to someone who's young and dreamy and thinks that they would like to try their hand at art? Where would you say would be a good jumping off place?
Definitely don't start with painting. Start with drawing. I did not start painting until I think maybe a year and a half ago. And if you can't draw, then it's really hard to paint. You can sometimes, very few cases, some people can paint, but they can't draw. I don't quite understand that. But you need to be able to get the proportions right. And I think if you're just starting out, my advice would be don't give up and be super duper ultra patient because it's going to take a while.
That's good advice. Yeah. That's really good advice.
Like, I wish there was an answer where you do this and it makes it perfect, but practice makes perfect over a long period of time.
Right, right.
If there's a way to be good at everything really quick, that'd be awesome.
It's not a sprint, right?
Nope, unfortunately.
Yeah. That did help expose a lot of your picture, though.
Yeah. No, places I need to fill into.
So I would say, in observing this today, if you want to create things with chalk, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Oh yeah. The first time I ever did a chalk competition, when they called me up to get the prize, you should have seen my face. I had like a black handprint on the side of my face because I had wiped my face, and like I had green and blue all over me. And I looked at myself later and I was like, that's horrifying. I can't believe I look like that. So now I'm consciously aware of the fact that I have chalk on my hands and I don't wipe it on my face.
Yeah, I can see that.
I still usually get it all over my clothes, but that washes off, so that's nice.
Right.
I was doing pastel before I came here, and I had to go clean my face off because I got all over my face. I was very careful because I didn't want to get on my shirt. I'm like, I can't get on my shirt.
So you kind of have a big fun thing coming up next week, right?
Oh yeah.
Why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
It's not really that big of a thing. I'm just playing to entertain the audience before some pianist, Jason Lyle Black. He's actually really good. Is going to be playing, and I'm really excited to meet him. And hopefully, I get to meet him backstage and stuff. But that'll be pretty cool.
Right. So this is the Chisholm Trail Arts Council concert series.
Yep.
And he's kicking it off on September the 24th. So it's a week from today.
It is.
And he's the what do you say, the featured guest, performer. But Alayna there's always a little time when people are coming in to be seated, and Alayna gets to perform during that time while people are coming in. I'm very excited for you. I just think that sounds so great. I can't wait to hear you play in person.
Thank you. I'm excited too, because I haven't ever got to play at Simmons Center. I practiced there with my friend one time when we were practicing, because she's a dancer and we were doing a collaboration. But their piano is beautiful.
Yes.
It's like the best piano I've ever played on, except for this one Bosdorf from Imperial Grand. It was so great. And somebody just had it sitting in their office at OU, and I was like, dude, that's like $100,000.
Did you sit down and play on it?
Yeah, I got to play it because we were having a piano camp sort of thing.
It
was awesome.
Wow. I bet that was something.
It was. Unfortunately, that was back in the days where I didn't practice very much, so then it's not very good, but the piano was amazing.
do you look to like the future as that you'll be involved with arts
Oh yeah.
in some way? What do you
I
kind
always wanted to be a pianist, and that's my main goal.
of?
But there's very strong motive that I won't make it there. So I'll probably end up selling paintings, working somewhere, doing a couple gigs here and there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know why. Listen, I'm the forever optimist. I'm going to say that you can definitely make it as a pianist. I feel like you're pretty devoted and hardworking.
I am, but piano is a very competitive world. And if you
Mm,
look at like just any piano competition
mhm.
and you look at the contestants and you're like, they're all better than me. How am I gonna do this?
But you do compose, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think that's, there's another way to be involved and
Yeah. That
Like
is
a-
if I knew anything about composing, which I don't.
well, you're only 15 though, Alayna. I bet you can learn.
Yeah. I just have to find a book on it or something.
Watching YouTube.
Yeah, watching
Oh yeah, YouTube's my friend. I love watching people draw on there. Like, have you ever seen the speed paint sort of thing? That's just amazing to watch.
No, I have not. I've seen where people tell stories, and create something.
Oh, yeah,
while they're
that's a
painting.
one.
Those are kind of done quickly.
And it's like another thing when the speed paints are somebody is videotaping what they're drawing, and then they just speed it up, so you see their progress over however long it took. It's
Oh yeah, like that. Yeah. Oh, maybe we could play this one on fast speed.
I just figured out how to do that on my phone actually.
Uh-huh.
So I did my test one and it didn't turn out very good, but that's because I only did an hour's worth. So maybe next time I'll do more.
So with chalk, I mean, it's still about layering, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you guys
Even-
got a layer.
Whatever.
Layering, I think you have to use in every form of art.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't really thought about that until I was just watching this and realized that that's exactly what you're doing.
Yep. You get your main color you're going for, and then you just go on top of it for whatever else you want, highlights, shadows, or something.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about y'all, but this is very relaxing to me. I maybe could even just lay down and go to sleep while watching this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you could do, like create ways to help people relax by watching you paint or do something.
Oh yeah, like the
You know?
speed paints.
Yeah,
I know
just
a lot of
kinda do
times you'll read in the comments like, this is so relaxing, that sort of
Mhm.
thing. But it's really cool how people do things like that. And I think I'll say that twice.
Don't inhale.
I forgot how very intoxicating that is.
Yeah. Very nice.
So this is a little bit of a kind of a rough chalk surface.
Oh yeah.
rough chalk surface is actually way better than smooth. Smooth, you can't get any traction. So you're like, you can't see anything. So I don't like smooth. I like rough. The rougher the better, in my opinion. Just as long as it's not like huge chunks of rock. Right?
Right. The chalk kind of missing.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Better. That's nice.
I can also tell Alayna's a country girl. Folks don't really.
Well, I don't like spiders.
Oh,
If they're on me, I will seriously freak out. But I'm okay just as long as they're not on me.
okay. Well, I'm glad you were able to.
And as long as they're not scorpions. I'm not okay with scorpions
Oh.
in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, yeah.
Scorpions are not my thing. My little sister is gonna give me the look when I get home because I used the pose I took of her.
Oh,
I did the first speed painting I did. It was the same thing as this, and she was like, "You painted me," and I'm like, "No, I didn't. I made her face different."
well, you do have no shortage of models at your house.
Yeah, I have plenty of siblings to help with that. The thing is, they don't cooperate because they're siblings. Like, I tried to get my brother David to post so I could take a picture of him playing the trumpet and draw, but he was just like doing whatever. Nope, it's never worked. Either that or they just do not understand what looks good and they just do the most ridiculous thing they can.
Right, right.
Like I tried to get my sister to pose with the violin, and she doesn't play violin. I play enough to know how to hold a violin,
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't. But she was trying, she just couldn't figure it out.
Wow, that is amazing.
Getting there.
That wasn't what you were shooting for, I'm guessing.
No, it was not.
Well, I think that it looks fantastic. I hope you guys are all appreciating this as much as I am. This is just really fantastic to watch.
I like chalk. It's fun. I remember when I first got pastels, I didn't know they were pastels when they gave them to me. So I was like, oh cool, I got tiny chalk.
Ah, they're pretty different from chalk.
They're not chalk. Technically they are, but they're not sidewalk chalk, and I used it as sidewalk chalk. Now I don't have any real pastels left. I got some nice ones recently though. That was fun when I went on splurge or Hobby Lobby and spent way too much money and then had to go on a budget.
Yeah, yeah.
That happens pretty much every time I go on Hobby Lobby. Even though I technically set my limit of how much I can spend,
Yeah.
I end up going over. And I go, whoops, okay, who cares? I'll make it up later. That's fine. No.
There you go. Whatever it takes to get your supplies.
It's not always cheap, man. It's expensive. That's the thing that I don't like is the expensive. Whereas piano, I don't have to spend much money on sheet music since I can usually find it for free since it's classical and it has a copyright.
Right.
That's great. But you can't do that with art. You gotta buy everything.
Mhm. all the details with just these big chunky pieces of chalk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me.
Well, it's not that detailed actually, because all I'm doing is detailing the eyes and the rest of it's just a big lump.
Well, for those of us not so skilled, it looks very detailed. I think it looks so good.
Thank you. All right. That's pretty much done.
Okay. Here, let me give you some. Oh, okay.
And then we'll outline it in white. White. That's a neutral color. Not a good color. I don't usually outline things, but since I have so much chalk dust everywhere, I feel like I should.
Oh, okay, just to, yeah, kind of set it off. Oh, yeah. That really made it pop right off the sidewalk.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Very good. Here, I'm gonna let you, you might
chalk myself.
a little bit on your face, your forehead and cheek, a little bit. Right above your eyebrow.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad. It's kind of fleshy colored or pink. Now a little bit on it. Your eyebrow. There you go. You got it.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Wow, guys, how about that? Isn't that so amazing? Alayna, I appreciate you coming and sharing your just great artistic skills and thoughts with us. And it's been so fun. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah, yeah, you think you might come back and play piano for us sometime? Yeah. Yay, that'll be so great. Well, you guys, I guess, do you have a place where people can see your art?
Unless you count my room. Not really.
Well, do you put anything online anywhere?
I am starting to try to do that. It's called Alayna Hill's art page, but right now I have some stupid stuff on it pretty much.
Okay. So are your pieces for sale?
That's what I was gonna do after this actually, because I just wanted to save my best stuff for this. And then after this, I'm like, okay, I need to sell some stuff because I'm seriously low on budget money right now.
So have you sold pieces before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I remember the first piece I sold was just my piano teacher fun. But she was being nice.
Still, well, you know what? I would say if you're smart and want to invest in a upcoming young artist, buy some Alayna Hill art. I mean, she's probably going to be very well known for doing something someday art-wise, or I don't know, but by playing your piano, you're going to make your mark out there.
We'll see.
Yeah, I really think she is, and I'm so glad that she could be here with us today. We're going to sign off now, Alayna, and when we do that, we have our friends who are watching on Zoom to unmute yourselves. Everyone take your microphone, unmute.
So,
And
hi, Alayna. Great job.
do you
For
have
me-
any questions for Alayna? Any of our Zoom viewers? Anyone? Like, you know.
I was a little worried for a little bit because there was white, and I thought, oh no, she took a piece of white and put it on there. And then I realized it was the sunshine in the hair
Yeah, for the highlight.
because I could see her hand moving.
Chalk, you have to make sure you establish the dark and the light first after you've gotten the.
Okay.
So.
Mhm.
Alayna, are you gonna try to draw sports, athletic type pictures? Guys playing basketball or playing baseball or wrestling or boxing or?
Grandpa, I hate to break it to you, but I'm even worse at drawing bodies of guys than I am of faces. I can't make them look like guys. They end up looking like girls.
Maybe in the future sometime. That's what I hear her saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks so much for watching today, guys. We are really glad that you came. So everyone unmute yourself. Stefan, we are glad to see you back. We missed you on Zoom. And we sign off by saying happy trails. So I'm going to count to 3 and then we'll all say happy trails together, okay? 1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
trails.
trails.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, Stefan.